In the tense years after World War II, the world was split into two rival spheres of influence, the capitalist United States and the communist Soviet Union, and their struggle for dominance soon extended beyond Earth itself in what became known as the space race, a contest not only of science but of ideology, where each side sought to prove its system was the future of humanity. The Soviet Union struck the first blows, astonishing the world in 1957 with the launch of Sputnik, the first artificial satellite, whose beeping signals circling the globe filled Americans with fear, but filled Soviet citizens with pride. As newspapers declared socialism had conquered space and propaganda posters portrayed rockets cutting through the stars. That triumph was followed in 1961 by Yuri Gagarin's historic flight as the first human to orbit Earth, a 108-minute journey that turned him into an international hero and a symbol of Soviet superiority. His smiling face appeared on stamps, banners, and billboards, while Soviet children recited his name in classrooms, and families believed they were witnessing the inevitable march of communism into the cosmos. Meanwhile, the United States faced humiliation, its early rockets exploding on launch pads in front of television cameras. But out of that humiliation came determination, and President John F. Kennedy boldly promised in May 1961 that America would land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the decade's end. To Soviet citizens, Kennedy's words sounded absurd, even laughable. How could a nation so far behind possibly overtake them? Throughout the 1960s, Soviet media carefully nurtured this belief, showing glowing reports of cosmonauts, parading achievements as proof of their unshakable lead, and producing propaganda posters that depicted red flags already planted on lunar landscapes. The people were not told of the problems hidden behind the Kremlin walls, of rockets that exploded, of underfunded programs, of bitter rivalries between Soviet design bureaus that slowed progress. Instead, ordinary citizens saw only triumph: the first satellite, the first dog in orbit, the first man, the first woman, the first spacewalk. Schoolbooks taught children that communism had unlocked the secrets of space. Even children's stories described bright futures of space stations and colonies built by Soviet pioneers. In the minds of millions, it seemed certain that when humanity reached the moon, it would be a Soviet cosmonaut who stepped onto its surface first. That sense of inevitability was not just national pride. It was a cornerstone of identity, reinforced by every headline and every radio broadcast. Across the Atlantic, however, a different story was unfolding in silence, as American engineers worked tirelessly on the Apollo program, learning from failures, pouring resources into technology, and slowly catching up. The Soviet people did not know it, but the stage was being set for a reversal that would shake them to the core. By the mid-1960s, the optimism in Moscow, Leningrad, and Kiev remained high, with families dreaming of the day when a Soviet lunar flag would wave in the televised darkness of space. Yet history had other plans. The seeds of the greatest shock of the space race had already been planted, and the moment was approaching when, for the first time, ordinary Soviet citizens would confront the reality that their nation was not invincible in the cosmos.